What's up? It's Sierra.
Hey, it's Ebony.
And welcome to the Real Play Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to part 2. We're going to jump straight into it by rewinding back to Gordon's question to Mel and Jonathan. Enjoy.
You know, the women that you were with. I don't know if you were dating multiple women at the time, but how did you even decide to choose? Like, all right, yeah, this is who I want to be with.
So the way I knew because like when I started talking to her, I realized that I was talking to the other women less and less. I was focusing more time on her, and that's that's just how it was. Like I was giving her all my time. Mm-hmm. So then they just kind of fell off, and then it was like, okay, I already know what this is. This is what this means. I actually wanted to talk to her. Like I literally we were texting every day from that point forward. So that's kind of how I knew. Like it was just subconscious thing. It was a feeling. It was like nothing really happened per se.
Yeah.
I was about to say. I was just going to say the same something along the same lines. It was just soul ties. I really felt like she was like my twin flame. Like it was just meant to be. Like
I ain't say I wasn't that deep, but
I mean, since 16, like, and even early on when I was younger, like I wasn't a cheater, but I would talk to other girls at that point, I guess, and I would be texting and think it was nothing. Then after a while, I realized like that's just as bad as physically cheating by talking to entertaining other people, because I didn't think nothing of it, because I'm not doing anything, I'm not engaging with them, I'm not going out with them, they're just my friends, quote unquote. And I got, wow, do you think that's okay? That's just not okay, because you're really that's really intruding on that bond you had. But once you lock down and you really get to know that person and you understand them, and I think it goes back to that vulnerability. When you can be vulnerable with somebody, it like trumps everything. Like once you get to the point where you can be vulnerable with somebody, you like, yeah, I'm here. Like I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. And I think those are good points. I know this question wasn't for me, but I thought I'd interject and give my thoughts as well. Like I think it goes back to like God's design for the wife to be a helper suitable for a man. Like not to be like extra spiritual, but if you go to like Genesis 2:18, I mean, Lord God, it is not good for the man to be alone, and He will make a helper suitable for him. So I feel like if you're like talking to like multiple women, but all of a sudden you meet this one particular lady, I think you'll know if it's a good fit. Like there'll be something different, maybe the connection, maybe the chemistry, maybe your purposes align. Like you'll just be able to tell like there's something different about this one that's different from like all the
folks you were dealing with just kind of disappear, or you went and told them like, hey, look.
Yeah, did you ghost or nah?
Did you ghost?
Did you ghost?
I mean, I don't know if it was considered ghosting. We stopped texting. If they ain't text me back, I mean, it wasn't serious anyway. But right. I mean, if it came back up and we text again, it was kind of like, oh yeah, my bad. I've been talking to somebody. So
yeah, I got you.
So I don't want to call it a ghost. It was just like it is what it is. I don't want to talk to you as much no more.
One thing to that point though is I remember like claiming your woman is a huge deal. And a lot of men don't do that because they are trying to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Keep the options open, right?
Yeah. So what happened is like stuff as little as not being in a relationship on Facebook, or like her not being on your Instagram, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. At some point, that's not just semantics or just optics. Like that is a big deal, because you can't say this is the picture slideshow of my life and she's not in one of those pictures. It's kind of like, what are you trying to do? So that's
you said social media. You say that you have a post on social media.
Yeah, I didn't say that specifically, but yeah, wrong.
I'm not saying we said semantics, because I think I'm feeling different about that. Just feeling like in this society, in this generation, as far as like social media, like I feel like the more someone posts somebody, the more wrong they're probably doing that individual.
Wow.
The more they post them, the more wrong.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Hold on, say
it. Say it again for the people in the back.
For the people in the back. For the people in the back. For people that have the slow algorithm. So say no. So like, just like not saying like a personal experience, but like from what I've seen and heard from like other experiences, people will actively post their significant other, their wives, in general, like all the time. They pick like showing like, oh yeah, like they're happy, like this is what's going on here. But yet behind those closed doors, like there's nothing but skeletons in their closets, to where it's like they're doing them wrong, and them posting them so frequently is like a personal guilt trip that they have to, like, that's like their personal guilt trip or their duty to do.
Like, oh, I am in a relationship. Look at this, but really everything's not.
Yeah,
good.
But everything's really not good. But at the same time, and most time, like maybe the side dude or the side chick is probably right there liking the picture.
Yeah.
And we. Never mind. I was about to be real petty, but
is that a segue? That a segue?
That is an interesting take.
No, but there has been guys who have been in relationships and they want to, they're in a relationship. They may not have their status on there, but they're in a relationship and they want to be all in your inbox or something like that. So yes, you like the pictures of him with her. So like, I know. I see you.
I ain't that bold.
Never? What?
No.
Yo, it goes both ways, Joe. Trust me. I've seen it a lot.
So has anyone ever been, well, I'll ask the women. So since you just talked about someone in a relationship, have any of y'all ever been a side woman?
So
and this could be knowingly or unknowingly. It's not your fault.
Okay. So we don't
no judgment zone.
What you got set up for?
No judgment zone here.
So I'll go ahead I will go ahead and be 100% real. I have, when I was in college, I did not know in the beginning. I honestly did not know. He said he had a situation in Baltimore. We're in school in North Carolina. So I'm like, okay, that's like states away. Like, what does that mean?
My man, nice with the words.
I'm saying that situation where real tricky.
It was real tricky because then when school started, he was like, oh, I'm moving my girlfriend into X Hall. What? So your girlfriend, your situation in Baltimore goes to school where we go? Like, this is not a situation. This is a whole girlfriend.
He lives in Baltimore.
She's from Baltimore. She was from Baltimore, but I didn't know that. Well, he made it seem like he was going to break up with her, which didn't happen. And then she came to the school. And I'm like, oh. But by then, we had already had a few weeks of talking. I was like, okay. He kept saying he was going to end it. And I fell for it, the whole I'm going to end it thing, and it never happened. And so eventually, I called it off. But yes, I have been the side. And then I guess you call it the side. And then a few years ago, when I was living up here, she was back here in Maryland. And I got her number, and I met her at Fridays by Arundel Mills. And I was like, I just have to apologize to you because, yes, back in 2004, I used to talk to your man. Like, I just felt it still was in me. Yeah.
You went back.
First of all, I live up here. She lives up here. I went to a
She
small
probably
school.
don't even talk to him anymore and forgot. So
She doesn't. But for me, I felt like I needed to apologize to another woman for being that. Yeah, and I did. Barbara. And then she came to my birthday party. Like, we still friends on social media. She'll like this. She'll like it's cool. Like, we're grown women about it. But I had to let it be known. Like, I had to get it off my chest. So
she hit it with the hey Barbara. This is Shirley.
right.
Can I ask you a question though? I want to ask you a question. This might shift topics. Wes, he hasn't talked a lot. I know you said you were really heavily into church. Like, how does that impact your dating life? Because obviously it's a huge one piece of criteria that has to be there, and then it's a lot different.
I was going to touch on that too, John.
Yeah, I was. We
was going to touch on that too, but go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah.
So for me, it actually helps because me knowing like my faith, me knowing that I'm a Christian, I'm able to really kind of like vet women that I know aren't going to be conducive to my walk. So, for example, like, and social media is like very great at this. Like, if I'm on your social media, and no offense to the ladies that do this, but I see you in like booty shorts, leggings, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I know, okay, like, first and foremost, this isn't a person that, dresses moderately. Like, this isn't a person who, may have, like, a spiritual walk with God. So I do feel like, that will come with a conviction. So I feel like it really helps keep me grounded. Like, I'm not all out here, kissing up on everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing whatever I want to do, because it's so, and just keeping it real, just keeping it honest, like, it's so easy to catch, like, diseases and stuff out here, right? So, like, I feel like it really helps me to, again, just stay grounded, just be more cautious with who I talk to, who I pursue, who I choose to engage with. And as a result, it's less drama, it's less toxicity. And because I haven't always been this way, like I recently got serious about my walk with Christ maybe about 10 years ago. And before that, like, I was in the world, like, I would date whoever, like, I would talk to whoever. And it was just drama and headaches and confusion, like, left and right. But again, like, now with, my newfound walk in Christ, I'm able to, like, better vet the woman that I choose to talk to. So it's a lot less drama.
Interesting.
I'm saying, because my follow-up question would be with that, as far as like bringing spirituality and Christianity into dating. I know, like, the standard is a Proverbs 31 woman and Ephesians 5 man. Like, how does that play a part in, like, how you date now?
It just helps me to better, like, it helps you to know what you're looking for. Because with no word of God, like, number one, it helps you to know your identity. It helps you to know who you are. So it helps you to know what you should settle for and what you should not settle for. That's number one. Number two, like, the Bible is crystal clear. Like how you mentioned, like, with a Proverbs 31 woman, or it'd be like an Ephesians man, it's crystal clear what the goals, like how you should seek to, like, emulate your life, or like to like lifestyle. Like, it's crystal clear regardless of, like, how you should live. So for me, again, this goes back to, like, making things a lot more easier when it comes to you pursuing the opposite sex.
I got a question for you, Wes. So, like, what do you say to, like, for example, if for everybody listening, like, church is grounded in traditionalism in terms of what the man's role is, what the woman's role is. And in this world, it's very opposite. Like, what we see now, the optics of what we see a woman and a man is very opposite. So, like, how do you kind of navigate all of that? Like, I don't even have a specific question, but, like, it's just so polar opposite. Like, what a woman's role is, what a man's role is, and kind of what God's,
Like, it comes down to you just, number one, just being rooted in God's word, like meditating on his word both day and night, and not caring about what the world has to say, because the word has one definition, but the kingdom has a totally different definition. You know what I mean? Like, the world may say, step on other people to get to where you need to be. But the Bible says, humble yourself. You know what I mean? Like the word may say exalt yourself. Like, the Bible says, like, he who is last will be first. So, like, the kingdom has totally opposite laws when it comes to the world. So I feel like it comes down to knowing what the word of God is and choosing to walk in that light, as opposed to following the world standards, because they contradict each other at the end of the day.
Interesting. I have a lot to say, but I don't want to turn into a religious conversation.
I was about to say, I was going to cut you off, but I see where this is going.
I'm about to say, hey, John, you had a 3-question minimum, yo.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, if we can have him on the podcast if you would like to, and we can get into the religion thing, but we don't want to take over there. So
yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. Once I get into my
Real Play podcast,
we'll have a very long conversation about religion.
Save that for the next episode.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yes. Next episode.
That's going to need a part 2 to this. Yeah, hit the question.
Okay, so I'm going to just run through the list of questions. If you guys are like, skip that, we're not answering that for this podcast, that's fine. The first one is like, what if you start talking to someone and you ended up talking to the ugly friend and you didn't know that was the ugly?
You can't go back, because once you've committed to one, like, now everyone else is off limits. Everyone in the
what is,
which is not fair.
So what constitutes as dating?
Not fair.
So let's say you just only talk to that person. Credit. He's talking about credit. What if it was like? What if it was like, okay, I talked to this person for 2 weeks. Or I only communicate with this person, but we're friends Can I not still? Okay, well,
that doesn't count.
I'll just let people know that doesn't count.
No.
Oh, I thought it counted.
No, because here's the thing: you got to. So
what counts? I guess
this too, and some women do, but you got to constitute and define talking. Because if you say, "Oh, I talked to him," and you only maybe met one time and maybe text a little bit, we didn't talk. We didn't date.
Yeah, we did not talk, yo.
Yeah, I've been in situations like that. When I've met
I have
a friend that I didn't know they were friends, and then, name comes up. Oh, hey, I met this guy. Oh, I used to date him. And so I was like, well, wait. Who is this person? And I'll tell the truth if I did or if I didn't. This happened to me 2 times.
Oh, well, just a side note. Since we met on the dating app, somebody did tell me they talked to you, but I wasn't.
Since you happened to bring it up.
Since you brought it up.
But that's what I'm saying. So, especially even with the dating apps, like, it's going to be people that you'll run into. So it's kind of like, all right, well, did you really talk to them?
Right.
Not really. And then I have no problem telling them. But yeah.
What's the point of where you can say, hey, we made it to this level, so now you can't talk to anyone in my crew and I can't talk to anyone in your crew because we've passed that. That's what we need to know, because I've had that happen, and it's just like,
I think the baseline will probably be sex, because like if you already had that like physical interaction with that person, like that pretty much is like, oh damn, like it pretty much excludes you from their circle of friends. And it also depends on like just how serious you take the friend, the new friend, how serious y'all were before. Like, because if it was like a one night stand, that doesn't count either.
Okay, let me give you an example too, and this is not my question, by the way, but I used to talk to this guy in college, and one of my friends, I found out later, was sleeping with him.
How was y'all talking?
At the time or before?
No, at the time, me and him were cool.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, him and I weren't sleeping together. So, needless to say, I found out about it. They stopped talking, and then we all remained friends, right? Then he invited me to like his house for spring break. So I went over. I stupidly invited her. Found out that they slept together in the house when I was there.
While she was there.
It didn't go well. Like I'll say I spazzed out on everybody. And yeah.
So he didn't say nothing when you invited her. When you said you was gonna invite a friend, he didn't ask who the friend was.
He kind of was like, "What are you doing?" But honestly, I was young. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking I didn't want to spend the whole. He had to work. I didn't want to be there during the day by myself.
And then on your side, did you know prior to that they talked?
Okay, so I found out that they were talking. So I thought, and then her ex told me they were actually sleeping together. So yes, I knew they had slept together prior to inviting her to his house, but I still did. And so the next morning when I found out that they slept together, because he had roommates, his roommates told me, I called him and I was like, look.
Snitches.
Right.
That ain't his man, Joe. God dang.
I was asleep. They were waiting on me like this. Like to get up. Couldn't wait. Because one of them liked me, actually. So.
Oh, see? All right, there you go.
That's why. Yeah,
there you go. All right, now we got it.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's the question.
That's dirty Mac. That's what it's called. Dirty Macking.
Yes.
Dirty Mac.
So
Dirty
I called him and I'm
Mac.
like, when you come home, first of all, this is not even my apartment, but I'm like, when you come home, we all need to talk. I made her come and him and made them sit together on the couch. And first of all, we're not really dating because it's not, it's a lot of stuff. But anyway, so I basically was just like, why her and not me? So
wait, you really put them together and sat them down?
Really? Yeah.
Oh, you
in his house.
You're a real one.
And I told him, I was like, I know what time you get off of work. Do not pass go. I'm
you crazy. Oh.
No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
You crazy. All right. No, I'm not. I learned a lot about you.
Yeah, I knew it was
no, but like, I feel like we had a level of friendship because we used to like hang out every day, all day. Like, I feel like you played me. So now we're going to have a conversation about it, but not only together, but in front of her too. So anyway, we had a conversation. I basically was just like, why did you pick her over me? And he was just like, he wouldn't say at first, but I was like, you're going to give me an answer. So then he basically said, he was quiet at first, but then he basically was like, she was giving it up and you wasn't. And so I was like, cool.
No, honest answer.
I was going to ask that question. I was going to ask, like, were you like the 90-day rule? Like, are we going to talk about that too? Like the whole 90-day rule?
I wasn't on no 90-day rule. I was on a.
Now we got the time constraint now.
Some people.
I was just checking. I wasn't looking at time.
Because you know when women add the 90-day rule, they don't want you to sleep with them. So if you sleep with somebody else or vice versa, now it's the issue. But it's like if it was you, there wouldn't be an issue. So it's like a catch-22 thing right there.
Everyone's face right now.
I don't think I understand.
Everyone's face right now.
That's crazy. I can't see your faces.
Oh. Say it again.
Can you repeat your question
in a different way?
All right. Oh, okay. So if you're dating somebody and the 90-day rule is a thing, or like, are you planning on holding out? You plan on holding out, and this goes to guys or girls, and you find out they were sleeping with somebody else. Like, is that like a violation of the dating code or not?
Yes, absolutely.
How?
Just because I'm not having sex with you doesn't mean it's okay for you to go have sex with somebody else. Like, what in the world?
Are y'all dating exclusively?
Why not?
Wait, man, what you got to say? Wait,
I was on mute for a second. Like, whoa, what?
No,
you going to tell him you're not going to give it up, but you want him to like not get it from? Damn, really?
That's a crazy privilege right there.
Are y'all together? Or y'all, what, I guess.
So we're okay. We may not have to have like complete boyfriend girlfriend titles, but if we're really trying to just talk right now and try to fill it out like it's gonna be me and him, if I'm putting all my energy into him, then he doesn't need to be sleeping with nobody else.
Then why aren't y'all together?
So that's exclusive dating.
Yeah, that's together.
Yeah,
so that's like you saying, I'm not ready to be your girlfriend yet, but you better not be talking to nobody else and sleep with nobody else.
Right.
That's kind of crazy.
That sounds like a situationship with constraints.
Yeah, I guess you can call it that. But I just
you think that's fair. You don't see nothing wrong with that, right?
If you're gonna do it, don't let me find out. That's it.
Nice.
Like I want you to be 100% honest. I don't want you to lie. I don't want you to.
I got a question. So am I supposed to sleep with you so you don't sleep with other people? Like
exactly. Like that's what I'm saying.
I didn't say that. No. We not saying
that's what it sounds like though. You're saying like,
we're saying if we gonna be together, we're gonna be together. If we not together, you can't.
Where's the line? Because if we're friends,
exclusively dating. Exclusively dating is the line. And if I can recall, like early in the podcast, you just said, if I just know you for a few weeks, I owe you nothing. How does that not be applied here?
I did say that. Yeah.
You're bringing the quotes back.
He got the receipt. Yo.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
You said 5 minutes ago.
I'm just saying, like, what does that get applied at? Like, what is that no longer, like, when does that discount expire?
The discount.
I think this goes into the mind of a woman versus a mind of a man. Because in this case, the logical thing is like, you're not my girl, so why does it matter? In y'all mind, you like, if you're trying to talk to me,
exactly.
Why am I not the only one? So I think it's just a kind of disconnect somewhere. Yeah, but I mean, y'all gotta hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're trying to talk to me, then,
exclusively dating, like if exclusivity is not specified or like properly defined, would be owe each other?
Exclusive dating together, girlfriend, boyfriend, the same thing.
I was gonna say, like, to the point of, I know in the Christian world, like,
John draws back in. I think you did that.
No, I'm not. But abstinence
is real. Yeah,
it's a real thing. So I can understand where that's abstinent. It's like, look, this is who I am, and if it's a man that you're talking to, you like, I'm abstinent. You know, I would want you to be abstinent.
Well, all right. So I think that's a different scenario than we talking about.
I think it's the same thing because just because I don't tell you that doesn't mean that I'm not doing that. And I don't expect you to kind of at least slow your roll and not just be out here, you talking to me and then you over there sleeping with somebody else at the same time. I don't think I have to come out and say, yes, I'm abstinent right now.
And sexy.
I'm practicing celibacy.
In my mind, you do. If you want me to live an abstinent life with you, and how would I know? Like you want me to go into your mind and guess that you're abstinent.
But you know how she is. I mean, if you know who that woman is, if she's herself.
John, let's be real, yo. You can think you know women, but they back and they behind the doors busting it down, yo. I don't want to say that.
Really?
Yo, my bad.
It's how attract doors to women, yo.
Yo.
I will say women are more sneaky, divisive, and
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I would simply say that I think, again, that's why it comes down to why communication is so important, because I think two people need to identify that they're equally. I mean, if you're not equally yoked with the man that you're, dating, then yeah, like he's going to do things like sleep around. You can't get mad at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I will get mad at that, but I probably just shouldn't be talking.
I personally don't like the stigma of the man sleeping around when women do the same thing. They get away scotch-free like a band in the night. I don't like that.
Yeah.
And what I would say for I guess I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
I have another question that goes along the same lines.
Okay.
Someone asked, like, should you ask the person about their numbers, like how many people they slept with?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Here's the next question. Like, what number is acceptable? Is it can a girl be with 0 guys and that's acceptable? Can it be 10? Like, what's a good number for you?
I personally don't want a girl with 0 guys.
Huh? Really?
And who said that?
I would know. Yeah, no. So and listen here, like, so as if you're a man that's been with more than one woman, you have a certain expectation or standard when it comes to that horizontal tango. And if you deal with that woman, and if you deal with a woman that has no body, so now, like right now, you have a clean slate, but you have a certain expectation, and it's like, yo, if she
is that intimidating to you?
I can say that I don't agree with that.
Is that intimidating to you?
If I were a single man, I wouldn't agree with that, and I don't care about that.
You don't care about what? The numbers?
Nah, I don't. I personally don't. I don't ask.
Me either.
I don't like. That's not something I want to know.
Ask him. I don't want to know either.
I don't want to know.
I don't think it brings value.
About the numbers.
I was about to say it brings nothing. It brings nothing to the table for me.
But having 0 bodies is like buying a car with no credit.
Oh my God.
What?
He said buying a car with no credit.
Okay.
If you had no credit history, what do you bring to the table? What is your how do I know? Like, you don't know. And then from that point on, like,
I'm not with that.
To me, that doesn't make sense. If you're
don't make sense to me either.
That person, wouldn't you want them to? Wouldn't you want to be able to teach that person or have room to grow? Versus,
I would. There's always room to grow because they don't know you. You don't know them.
All right. I mean, I don't know about the other fellas on here, but I don't.
Wesley, yeah, it looked like you were about to say something, Wes. Were you?
I was just going to say that me personally, I wouldn't ask a woman how many bodies that she has because I feel like that wouldn't do nothing but maybe taint the image of her in my mind. But I think the more important question I would need to know is, have you been to the doctor lately, and what is your health records? Like, that's what I want to know. That, to me, that's important.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. I agree with that.
While Wes was talking, I had a question. Like, do you see it as when you're dating in the Christian circuit, women they want, their Boaz, so to speak, but look past a lot of the Christian men because they don't they lack the aesthetic or the proudness of like a man that's not in church, because they look at you, they can look at you as almost not, or being weak or less than.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in the Christian world, whereas women, like, he's not masculine because, because be in love with Christ is to be vulnerable.
And I find that sexy, so.
Everybody doesn't. A lot of women don't.
Because
that's just not the type of.
To be vulnerable is sexy.
Yeah, naturally.
But I get what you're saying.
People don't associate that with masculinity. So I just know what.
Yeah, be a word.
So what was the question? I missed it.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I would say, we're in dating in the church, right? In a Christian sense, women look at men a lot different. They'll say they want that, man of God, but yet they're looking to the man that's not, because it's certain things that a woman is attracted to that really a man that's more connected with God may have kind of shed, so he can be closer to God. A lot of it involves the masculinity that is quote unquote stereotypical.
Yeah.
I mean, to me personally, I feel like being vulnerable is very masculine, because there isn't too many men who will be vulnerable or open or transparent with the opposite sex. So to me, I feel like it requires more. It requires more of God. It requires less ego and less of yourself to be vulnerable with somebody. So I feel like, to me, that should be more of something that's positive than something that should have a negative connotation attached to it. But at the end of the day, that's why I say, again, it just comes down to just being equally yoked, because women will say with their mouth that they want a man of God. I see it all the time. Like, women will say all the time that they want a man of God. Women will say all the time that they want a man who follows the Lord, who fears the Lord, but they're not ready for that lifestyle, because with that comes boundaries, it comes discipline, it comes self-control. And some people just want to live life the way they want to live it. You know what I mean? So I just think, again, it comes down to, again, just having that clear communication. And it's so hard nowadays because everybody wears masks. Like, everybody lies. Everybody doesn't want to be hurt. So everybody, they just fear being let down. So some people just don't want to, I guess, let somebody on the inside and let them know who they are. But it really is really important, just knowing who you're dating and being equally yoked.
And equally yoked does mean more than just spiritually, just so everybody is clear.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Right.
Because I think people always, when they read the Bible, they just think that it means like you have to be with the believer. And if you're two believers, you're going to be okay. Like, that's not true. That's not, that's not everything. So I know that we are having a really good conversation, and I know Ebony probably has another 25 questions on her laptop based off of what she showed us. The two best questions. The two best ones you got.
No pressure, though.
Oh my God, so much
Don't
pressure.
pick the wrong one, Ebony.
Maybe all the smoke.
Oh, she's stressed over there. You said.
And by the way,
I'm about to say.
for the next session, everybody, just make sure you get dolled up like Ebony and Sierra. Like, they didn't even tell us to get dressed.
Yeah.
We just showed up scruffed up.
I might have combed my beard.
I comb my hair, I put my earrings on. I've been sitting in the house doing nothing, so I was like, I might as well.
Eyeshadow on, I see it.
Y'all lucky I had a shirt on.
Yeah, I had to put a shirt on.
Can I ask 3?
All right, yes, let's get it.
That's fine. Let's go.
Give us some of your turn-ons and turn-offs.
That's a big open question.
Do you want me to skip that one too?
No, they can answer this one. This is a good one.
That's a good one.
Let's go to Gordon.
He been quiet for a minute.
Say it again.
Yeah, he ain't talking.
What are some of your turn-offs and What are some of your turn-offs and turn-ons?
For a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was confused. You just said turn on.
So what turns you on about a woman and what turns you off, basically?
Thank you.
There we go. So straightforward, before really getting to know her, are we talking physically? Physical?
It doesn't matter.
Open.
All right, so cool. So when I first meet a woman, this comes with attraction. So the first thing like how my man was like, we look at, you know, face and body. So I look at teeth and feet if your feet are out.
Teeth.
And
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Couple OnlyFans out there for you, bro. I'm just letting you know.
You say what?
There's a couple OnlyFans out there.
Oh no, I'm just saying. No, there's no weird foot fetish situation going on. I just feel like a nice smile and teeth is definitely attractive because I take care of my teeth and I feel like hygiene is good. And I think if a woman takes care of her feet and probably nails, she likes to look presentable and she takes care of almost
everything else.
Exactly.
I heard that before.
So that's one good turn on right there physically. Another one, a hard work ethic, not more so of like being, I would say like, you don't have to be the breadwinner. I don't care what you do. As long as you're doing something that you enjoy and you like, and you have a ambitious or hard-working mentality per se. You know, I know, as the man, yes, you are to, you know, lead and to be the home leader and the head of the household, just like what Sierra was saying. But at the end of the day, this woman was on her own before I even came in. So if she can show like, hey, look, like, I pay my own bills, I do this, I do that. Yes, as an adult, that's what you're supposed to do. But there's a lot of things that, you know, a good woman can bring in. So that's definitely a turn on there. And that's, I mean, more so, I mean, it's things is case by case basis. Every woman is different. Every woman can do different things. So I wouldn't really say, just kind of like deal breakers, you wouldn't really have the same deal breaker with everyone because some things can, everyone's different.
Yeah, I can see that.
And some things can be fixed. So,
but are they really deal breakers then if they can be manipulated depending on the person? Like my deal breaker, I don't care who you are.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
a deal breaker.
Yeah, that's very serious.
Because that's a deal breaker. Everything else doesn't. If it's not they do this and it's an absolute no, then I wouldn't even classify it as a deal breaker.
Yeah.
To me, because it ain't breaking nothing if you're able to bend with it. But sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I mean, that's pretty much it for me. I'm easy to please. I don't need too much.
Most guys are.
Yeah.
So you say?
Yeah. No, seriously.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Most guys are.
I really don't need that much. As long as you're just responsible and you manage your money good, or is it something that, I mean, that's something that we can all help with, you know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing, man. Just responsibility, trustworthiness, and you take care of yourself. Like, yeah, I don't need a lot.
Yeah.
So somebody was saying that most men are the same way. Like, and then why is so many women single? If that's
is that you or is that somebody?
Hold on.
Somebody. It's somebody. That's not her. I got your back, Ebony.
Okay, it's okay. I got you on the next episode.
Tag team.
That sounds pretty synonymous right there.
What do you mean the same way?
Like men are
probably like they're easy to please. Like we're not hard to please. Like we as men,
I think that's true.
We don't have a lot of standards.
I think that's true. I just think that I think it's true. Like because we are pretty much easy to please, but I think it gets a little confused because each guy has a little bit different,
right?
Different things that they look for. But even though they're different, it's still not a lot for the most part. I'm not gonna say I can't speak for all men, but I'm gonna say most men are probably pretty easy. Like I'm saying, keep your head done, keep your nails done, be presentable, be like don't just have a good job, decent job at least. You know what I'm saying? Be a little bit ambitious, you know. Don't be complacent where you at.
No, can I double jump?
So is 78% is looks because somebody
lied. Sounds like it.
It ain't
70, 80?
It sounds like it.
Somebody lied.
I wouldn't say 70, 80.
Nah.
I would say about 50 though.
50 on looks?
Yeah, I think it's more than 50.
50 on look. The rest is on vibe. Vibe is like number one.
Dad, thank you.
Is it really?
Vibe is number one.
Vibe.
Because you could be fine. You could be the finest thing walking, and you could have a good personality, and I'm good.
I'm saying,
so
you can be fine as shit with every personality. Yeah,
and you can't even hold a conversation because that's happened before. Like you go up to somebody and you talk to them, and they like, damn, why did I just waste 5 minutes of my time trying to talk to her?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the trophies ain't what you think, because they ain't like looks, they can look good, bro, but they nah.
I'm gonna say Hotep Ball says, "And my third eye ain't open. Business is closed."
I don't know. I missed that one too.
I think men, like Melvin was saying, like one thing we all look for is a vibe. Like if you're our best friend, yo, everything else we can. Happen.
Everything else falls in place. If you're best friends, everything falls in place.
Yeah.
This is not on my list, but this is for me. Most guys that I found, they don't really want to be friends first. They're like, I already got friends. I don't need any more.
I want a girlfriend.
So,
friendship, but friendship is the foundation of any relationship.
Love is waning. Love comes.
I don't know which guys you're talking about. But
yeah. Like is what's important. Not love.
Because I want to be able to go to a bar, have a conversation with you, drink, and have fun like that. Like that's friendship. That ain't got nothing to do with romance. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, that's just something that we do. Sometimes, like that has no sexual connotation to it, but we vibe, as John said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a vibe. I want to great jokes.
Like the man stuff like that. Like all they want is just the draws, and if you don't have that foundation of friendship, like my man said, then sooner or later, like the physical infatuation is going to go away, and you're going to realize like people can't even stand each other. Yeah. Y'all can't even have a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Over time, that shit fades out.
Tom is undefeated, bro. Like I mean, shit happens.
Say that again.
Skin get a little wrinkle, you know what I'm saying? All right, I'm sorry.
But
I was about to go in.
One thing I would say is like being married, like I always love that person, but I'm telling you, you don't like that person a lot. Like I want to switch my statement here. Love is consistent, but like you don't like them all the time. No.
I talked to this Sierra about this.
Yeah,
person has to be likable. Like I have to like you.
You gotta like them. Because if you don't, but also you just want somebody you can kick it with. Like at the end of the day, you know how it was a group of friends and the girl that was like the tomboyish, like the girl that always got the shit from all the other girls because she was around all the guys. It wasn't because she was so sexually attractive. It was just because she was cool. Mm-hmm. And she was just chilling. She was kicking it. It wasn't no judgment. It was just chill. And I think that's really what men be looking for. Like, it's really simple. Like your laundry list, like your career and all that. We just talked about in our podcast. Your career and all of that, that's cool. But that's not what I'm looking for. I want to be.
It's part of it. It's part of it.
I'm about to say, but I think it's still could be.
Out of the pie is not even 50%.
All right, I wouldn't say 50, but you said like it ain't nothing. It's like 0%.
I guess I'm coming into this with an assumption of a standard here. I guess.
Okay, my bad.
But yeah, like, yeah, it's really about the vibe, how you make us feel. If we can trade jokes, stuff like that. Also, with me, I guess I can slide into me. Like mine is eyes and like sensuality. It's not necessarily sexuality, but a sensuality. Like a sensual woman, it'll get me there. Like that's always been my thing. That's my wife, obviously. But like a sensual woman, like you can see that from afar. A woman that's very sensual, very. It has nothing to do with sexuality. Mm-hmm. It has everything to do with connection and just like you can see a woman that's like really in tune. And that's like a different type of confidence because it's not very brazen. It's not very in your face. It's kind of like a confidence that like you know is there, but like nobody's talking about it. That's always like. And then also, I personally do. I don't mind. I like to banter. So I like women that are a little bit more. I guess I would say aggressive. Like I don't like somebody that's real passive and just like not talking. Like I get screamed on a lot, but like it doesn't bother me as much as I probably. It bothers me because I'm not really good at winning, but I want to know you're a person. I want to know you got some vigor in you, like you care.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, for me, confidence is definitely like the best, I think, outfit that a woman can wear. Like if you're confident, then and you accompany that with a great smile, it's like it doesn't get no better than that for me. I think that's number one. And number two, I think a woman who is whole. Man, that's like a game changer. I mean, a woman who like still isn't trying to like get over her ex, a woman who isn't trying to like figure out who she is and her identity, but a woman who knows who she is, a woman who knows why she was put here on this earth, like what she was put here to do. I feel like if a woman is whole and she's confident, like to me, that's next level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
I was about to say, speaking of that whole point, I think that's the thing people always look for. I don't think really nobody's here in this earth to complete you.
I don't think it's attainable. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. I think that people should stop saying that.
Yeah.
Nobody completes you.
I think you're always growing and learning, so I don't think you ever reach your full potential or your full wholeness.
Right.
So that's me personally.
You can't do it in a human mortal form. You have to be spirit. That's a little too deep.
Okay, clairvoyant John.
I'm saying. It's a spiritual type. Go ahead. Go to the next point.
But I get what he's saying. Like, you don't want somebody who's still trying to search for themselves. You can't be with somebody like that.
That's an eternal search. Like, you'll never find yourself. That's a lie if you think you found yourself.
Not that you... Okay, like, you're not going to know everything about yourself. But if you don't know how to make yourself happy, how can someone else make you happy? You got to be...
But the thing is, what makes me happy right now, I guarantee you in a year, it's going to be something different.
But do you know that? The thing is,
I know that for a fact. Something that made me happy yesterday is
and
not...
that right there is why relationships are so hard.
Because people are constantly changing, but you got to change with each other. So that's
but I mean that's why when you're in a relationship,
is she not the one for you?
You understand when you're in a relationship, you understand that things happen and things can change, but you know that you can talk to that person, or you can grow with that person, or you can we can work through this together. That's the point of relationship.
Yeah.
Your needs are one.
To evolve with each other.
The roles may even flip.
Oh, good.
Now I'm saying the roles may even flip. Like, whereas though one person was like, you woke up one morning and said, I don't feel like working no more. Like, I don't feel like doing this. Like, everything can change. In a matter of
it's a little bit steep.
I'm just saying, but like, it can be that drastic though.
Yeah.
Whereas though, are you with that person because of what they could do for you, or are you with that person because you just love them and you just want them in your life?
True.
Yeah, that's why I think friendship is important. But so another question, I guess on the same lines is, what are some areas of personal growth that you can identify with? Want to skip this question?
I said mine.
What are some areas of personal growth that you can identify with?
Go ahead, Mel.
Mine was communication. I think I spoke on it a little bit earlier. I think learning to, because I'm not a person I internalize a lot of stuff. So if I know something's wrong with me, I try to figure out what's wrong with me and try to fix it on my own. So being in a relationship, I need to learn, and I'm learning how to, now I can say what's wrong with me and we can work it out together, as opposed to me trying to figure it out myself all the time. So that's like some personal growth that I know myself. I'm flawed and I'm working on
it. Next. Anybody else? Nobody else?
Well, I'll say, like, before I say this, it's a book I would encourage a lot of people to read. It's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. I've been trying to tell people to read this book.
Who's it by?
Let me see. I don't know. Give me a second. I don't remember authors. I got it. It's in my other room. My bad. I don't have it with me. But it's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Book. But one thing I was going to say is, one thing I've been working on. Communication's always going to be at the top, because communication's always something I struggle with. But also, not being a nice guy is huge, because with people being nice, you have a lot of covert contracts with people. And what covert contracts are basically expectations of people and things, but you're not really expressing yourself, right? So it's really just understanding as a man is really being tapped into your partner. As far as personal development is really just getting to know yourself. So, but like the biggest thing is not going into things with assumptions. I think we go into things with so many assumptions. Like that's a huge growth area of like personal development. Don't assume people are going to do this. Don't assume this or that person. Just really go into it with a blank slate, and also be willing to let them be wrong or you be right. Whatever comes of it, comes of it. Not always go into it with the outcome in mind. Like just be free.
Mm-hmm. That book was by Robert A. Glover.
It's a really dope book. Really dope book.
Thank you, Ebony.
Thank you.
No one else? If not, I can move to the next question.
That was easy.
Okay. All right. I'll try to pick some good ones.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one.
That was more than 3, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
No, it was not. It was not.
I'm about to say,
I was counting.
It was not. Loaded baked potato.
It's all good. We had a cool 2 hours.
Oh, I don't know what to ask.
Ask it.
Go ahead.
Let's get real. Go ahead, ask it.
No, I'm just trying to pick a good one.
But that's something crazy.
That's how dudes be trying hopscotch and talking to y'all too. See?
I was trying to get a good one.
I don't think I want this.
Nobody in my DM.
I don't know where I put the question, but the one I was going to ask last is, what does success in a relationship looks like to you? I don't know where it went.
Ooh.
Beyonce and
Michelle
Jay-Z.
Barack Obama.
Michelle and Obama?
Oh,
Yeah, Michelle Obama.
I didn't say a person.
That's goals though.
But
Okay,
they are,
goals.
That's gold.
Man,
I'm
we
lying.
don't really know their relationship.
You don't. You know what they
I don't.
they put out there.
I know what they put out there, and that's all I need to know.
Right.
That's all I need to know.
That's all.
Professional.
I mean, if I'm toxic, then Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Toxic? Toxic?
Yeah.
They're toxic?
Yeah. I mean, no. They put out albums. They put out albums to reflect the relationship and infidelity.
They do.
They do that to make money.
And that shit hit.
Nah, it's not just to make money. That's deeper than money.
I mean, that's way deeper than money. Like, to the point where Jay-Z even mentioned that he has the answer to his kids eventually to why he did what he did. And
Maybe it's therapeutic for them. I mean,
it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not for money. I don't think it's for money. I really think.
It's definitely not for money.
I feel like part of it was for money. The way that they made it, the way they publicized it, and the way they dropped it, like that was to make sure that they got the money for it. If they wanted to just be therapeutic, they would have just let it out on the low. It was a big deal.
They could drop an album full of ad-libs and then shit would sell. So I don't know. Yeah, they could drop an album full of ad-libs, just them saying random stuff, and it would sell.
Well, what's the point of success? I was about to say success in relationship. I think that's like a hard question to ask because what is success like? What a successful what? Like what is success?
The guidelines of successfulness in a relationship.
That means I got a third question, right? Hey guys, we had so much fun recording this episode. We wanted to make sure most of our listener questions got answered. Therefore, we have a bonus episode coming at you. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all social media platforms at The Real Play Podcast.
We would love to hear from you, so leave us a comment, DM, or voice note. And don't forget to come hang out with us on our next episode.